Rev up your engines!
G63MG said, Scotty, what do you think about Chinese car companies become popular in many countries like Zeekr, Geely, Li, etc.? Well, of course, the Chinese are going to make things cheaper. That's just the way that it goes. It's a communist country. They can pay the workers almost nothing and can get away with it. They have cars that go for less than 10 grand that are decent cars, right? So eventually, they'll try to import them into the United States. Now, when Trump was in, he put huge tariffs, so the Chinese really don't sell cars in the United States. I mean, you can get some GM products that are made in China, a few that they bring in, but they're GMs. Who knows what goes with tariffs on stuff like that. But if they lower the tariffs, they'll probably flood in with Chinese cars. Because I just read a thing, Chinese car prices have dropped 24% this year because they're having kind of a deflation going on in China. The real estate's going down, the prices of cars going down, they're not selling as many cars, and they just can't wait to get rid of their overload and sell it in other countries. Hey, it might be a while if they ever start selling them here with the tariff situation, but a lot of Europe doesn't have that tariff situation, and they're buying the Chinese cars. And he's having a fun time out there. He outlasted Wiggles the pig by a long shot. Sin Vixo says, Scotty, I know your opinion on BMW and Mercedes, but I'm thinking about purchasing an M4 BMW, F82, or CLS63 AMG. What should I look out for to avoid? Well, right off the bat, go ahead. If you're going to buy something like that, get the BMW. They are solid built. They're strong. Now, they're made for people who want to drive cars seriously. AMGs used to be really great cars, but they keep watering it down, and they put that AMG badge on all kinds of stuff, right? The M4s, F82, that's another story. They're still pretty well built. They're expensive vehicles, but they hold their values because in the driving community of the world, they know those are fun cars to drive around. And if you don't wrap them around a tree, they have decent resale value because people like them. Now, if you're talking about buying a used one, don't even think about buying one unless you can find a guy like me, a guy who really understands them, with a fancy scan tool to put it in and go through it for an hour or two and tell you exactly what shape it's in. Do not ever take a chance. And if you see it's a younger guy selling it, some YouTube star or rap star or something, just run away because they probably beaten the heck out of it and there's nothing left. Milano Brando says, our Audi A7 2014 reliable, 140,000 kilometers, what's that, like 80,000 miles? Selling below market. I don't mind spending on the warranty because the car's only 12 grand. My family has 2 Japanese Mazdas. I want a weekend car. Those are endless money pits, baby, and it's 10 years old, right? Now you say you don't mind spending on a warranty. I hate to tell you, but the warranties for those things aren't worth the paper they're printed on. Say the engine blows up. They'll find some excuse. Well, you don't have a good record of oil changes. The engine wasn't maintained. We're not buying you a new engine. Or the tranny blows up. The transmission wasn't serviced correctly, so we're not going to warranty the transmission. Those warranties are not worth the paper they're printed on. I wouldn't touch that thing with a 10-foot pole. I just wouldn't. If you're crazy enough, have a mechanic like me at least check it out to see what happens, right? And don't put hardly any miles on it, or you'll regret it. Jim McKean says, Scotty, I'm from Minnesota. Can I use WD-40 to dry out a distributor cap? Well, of course you can. That's what it was made for. You got an old vehicle, man. They haven't had distributor caps for quite some time. Decades, you know? WD stands for water disbursement. So what you do is you can spray it all over. Spark plug ones, every place, right? And then you want to wipe excess off. You don't want loose oil all over the place, right? It's basically kerosene and stuff. But yeah, it disperses water. That's what the WD stands for. It can get water off of electrical parts that maybe you went through a puddle or something. Sure, works great. That's one of the things it was made for. Shiv says, I'm looking at a new Toyota Highlander, but I don't know about that turbo inline 4. What are your thoughts about it? Should I get an older V6? Definitely. Now, originally, Highlanders came with 4s and 6s. And the reason they went to 6, because the 4s are underpowered. And they last a long time with the 6. I had a customer in Houston that had 550,000 miles on them. He made the mistake of getting rid of it and got a newer Highlander. And it was a 4-cylinder hybrid. And guess what? It had 150,000 when it broke, and his other one didn't break in 550. I would not buy a 4-cylinder turbo in that heavy vehicle. Get an older V6 one. You'll be better off. It'll outlast it. You'll have less problems. I can just about guarantee you. Tyler Dennis says, Scotty, is dielectric worth using when I change spark plugs. Why does everybody say you need to use it? Because they don't know what they're talking about. Now, back in the day, that was true because spark plugs were bare and you'd put it on the threads and screw them in. Today, look at new spark plugs. They're all usually coated with something already, either chrome plated or whatever. You never want to put any lubricant on those because then you won't torque them down right and they might blow out while you're driving down the road and unthread themselves. Modern spark plugs are already coated, and when you put them in, you put nothing on them. Get a torque wrench, get the specs, and tighten them exactly to what the torque specs, and they will never come out, and then they won't stick. They used to stick because they were cheap and they were just copper and stuff, and they weren't coated, and then you had a hard time getting them out. Modern spark plugs are all coated. Never put any grease on them, because if you do, they will have a tendency of unscrewing and blowing a plug out. Jeff P says, I got a 2004 Corolla, 223,000 miles. It makes a rattle. Warm startup, lasts for 15 seconds, only does it when it's warmed up. Could it be the serpentine tensioner? Well, it certainly could, and it's very easy to tell. Take the belt off when it's warm. Start it. The noise goes away. Then start pulling all the pulleys, and if you see the tensioners rattling, replace the tensioner, right? Now, let's say it still makes the noise when you take the belt off. That's bad. That means it's your VVT valve system rattling, and that can get super expensive, right? But a lot of times they'll rattle for a few seconds, then go away. Guys will still drive them for years because it's a Toyota. They can generally last a really long time. But take the belt off. The rattle goes away. You know it's something in there. Start grabbing the pulleys, and if the tensioner's rattling, get another tensioner. Peter Grant says, my 2012 Jeep Wrangler has poor braking power. I feel the braking power should be better. How can you improve them? Well, numero uno, have a mechanic like me check it out. Because a lot of times, that thing is what? It's 12 years old. The boosters go bad. The boosters do exactly what it says. It boosts the power to your brakes. If the booster's no good, you're going to have crappy brakes because it won't boost them and it won't stop fast enough, right? The brakes they put on those things normally work perfectly fine. So you want to check the booster, you want to check the calipers to see if they're rusted or corroded. Maybe they need replacing. Look at the rotors, if they're all shiny and warped, you want them perfectly flat and clean. You might need new rotors. And if you really want to improve braking, you can buy drilled and slotted rotors to replace them. And they stop better because they dissipate heat better too. And you want to use high quality brake pads. Like I like the Acabona pads. They're better than the pads they put them on at the factory. Juan Hernandez Jr. says, what can I do if my trailer hitch is stuck rusty? It's almost impossible for you to get it unstuck. Okay, two things. A hammer and a spray can of WD-40. Spray under that ball. Spray the hitch. Spray everything with WD-40 and let it sit overnight, right? Then get yourself a hammer, and if you need a drift pin, whack the heck out of it until it pops loose. Then spray the heck with WD-40. Other people watching have one and it isn't stuck. Keep spraying it with WD-40 anyway so it won't get stuck. WD-40 stands for water displacement, and it will displace water and keep things from rusting. Spray the heck out of the hitch. Hey, the more the merrier. It's not going to hurt anything, and it will keep it from sticking in the first place. Cool dude said, Scotty, my kid has a Ford Escape. It stalls periodically. No one can figure out what it is. You start with a guy like me. I put on a scan tool. I look at all the data and right? Normally, I will see the data, and on my screen, black where data is good. If I see red data, it means it's bad. I immediately look at that system and road test it, right? Let's say there's no red data. On a vehicle like that, and it stalls periodically, the numero uno thing is the fuel pump wearing out and the fuel filter getting clogged. So first, just change the fuel filter. Easy enough, right? Maybe that'll fix it. And you said nobody can figure it out. If you lose pressure because your fuel filter's clogged or your fuel pump isn't working right, your computer doesn't know, because most of those, I'm assuming you're talking about somewhat old one, they don't have a sensor to tell the computer what the fuel pressure is. So if the fuel pressure is low, the computer doesn't know and it doesn't trip a code. So that's one of the most common things that'll do that, because the computer doesn't know what the pressure is, so it can't flag a code for low pressure. Even the XS 2013 Scion makes a whining noise every time it accelerates. And the idea what it is, I've checked the alternator and the battery. It whines when it idles too. There's so many things that can whine. You want to pray it's not the transmission whining, because often when they wear, the gears will whine inside. So watch my video, Finding the Source of Car Noises, Scotty. You get a machine, you can buy one yourself. The one that I have in there is a $150 machine, but if you go to Amazon and put car noise finding machine, you'll find I got them for $69, made in China now. You get the little clips that have the mics, and you put them all over the car. Then you get a headphone with a master unit. If it's got 8, there'll be 8 clicks. Place the bearing that's whining. Scotty Kilmer fan says, Scotty, how is Wilbur the pig? Okay, Wilbur's, I just said hi to him. He's lying in the sun. His friend Wiggles conked out right right before New Year's. Wilbur is still rolling along. We feed him our banana peels and old vegetables. He's a really intelligent pig because you can say, hey, Wilbur, how you doing? He grunts, and when you throw him banana peels, he grunts and thanks you. I mean, he's a very polite pig, and he's getting bigger and bigger. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.